This is the story about how I went almost scattered.
Oh, Heather, my mom just said, you know what? Like, I don't think they should be putting this amount of pressure for you to buy things for a young man who's just starting a home. Also, your parents are just like, they don't value you. Like that.
Yeah,
my family does not value you.
Yes, because if they valued me, why is buying everything on this?
Hi guys, how you doing? Nice to see you again.
Again, we have another story.
Yes.
Well, I was about to say guess what, but I spoiled it. Anyway, guess what? We have another story.
You still didn't guess what?
We have another story for you in this video.
Yes.
If you enjoyed our last story video, you are going to enjoy this one even more. So make sure you stay to the end. Like, share, subscribe, comment. We love to read your comments.
Yes, one of our favorite things to do.
This story is going to shock you because guess what? This is the story about how our wedding almost scattered.
Almost scattered.
Like few
Honestly.
days. This was like 3 days to our wedding. Our wedding
3
almost
days? Yeah,
scattered.
3 days to our wedding.
This was like, because I think this was happening like Wednesday and our wedding was on Friday.
Traditional wedding was on Friday.
Yes, our traditional wedding almost scattered, guys. The
So,
wedding.
how did it happen?
How did it happen?
My people of God. So, I mean, during the introduction, which was a wonderful time. Like, I remember waking up that morning. I remember praying and just thanking God that, finally this is going to happen. Like, everything is coming together.
Of my dreams.
Yes, everything is coming together.
I was going to marry the man of my dreams too.
I wasn't dreaming, this was real. I remember staying in my aunt's hotel and just waking up, I was just like, my God, this is actually happening. And then my best man then came, even my friends came around, I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. Anyway, till we get to the house, we do the whole introduction thing, and it was very interesting.
Yeah, first of all, like there was a little bit of hitch with the introduction.
Can't even remember.
Because like my husband's father is late, and his mom was not in the country, and she was not able to travel at the time. So my parents were insisting that we cannot do introduction without meeting any of his family members. Without meeting any of his parents, if he has parents that are alive. But thank God he was able to find one of his cousins that he was close to come and stand in as the male man in the family, and then his eldest sister came to stand in place for his mom, and then his mom's friend came to stand as well. So my parents accepted that, but they were like
thankful. With much prayer.
Yes, they accepted, and so that didn't delay the wedding, and they gave the condition that his mom must be present for the wedding. Yes. Because she has to show that she approves and she supports, and her physical presence was very important to my parents.
Well, your parents did a lot for me. Like, they made a lot of concessions.
I'm telling you.
Aside from the natural tradition of things.
And this is because I believe that, because my parents are believers, they already had their personal convictions about my husband before the wedding, and that's what saved us. Yeah, that's what saved us. Yes,
actually, that's what saved us in this story.
Keep on listening.
Okay, so after the introduction, during the introduction, actually, the list was presented, the famous list. It was presented and read out, and my mom was online. I think we did like a phone call, so my mom was hearing everything that was happening. So my mom, through her friend, said we accept, and then my uncle that was around and my elder sister that was around said we accept, it's a reasonable list and everything. They said, okay, let's do, if we want to do negotiations about this, now we can do it. And everybody was like, no, it's fine, it's reasonable, let's go ahead with it. And everything went hitch free. We even knelt down, they prayed for us. Like, I remember the pictures, I still have the pictures. Maybe they'll post the pictures of how it went. It was just wonderful. And I remember, oh my God, I remember this thing clearly. When you came out, they were covering your head.
No, that's the traditional wedding.
Okay,
well done.
Anyway, Sha, when you came out, you looked so beautiful, and I was just like, my God, this is happening. This is really happening. I think we were wearing ankle.
Yeah, we wore some form of ankle.
We wore some form of ankle. It was very nice. I was like, my God.
So, I mean, the introduction went hitch-free. It was very good.
It was good.
Then there was the issue of, how will my husband's mom make it for the wedding?
Yes.
You know.
That was another.
So that was another serious prayer point.
Yes.
My husband went to embassy. There were different things.
Yeah, the problem was my mom was in the UK, and for the citizenship she was trying to attain, which my sister, who's a citizen, was applying for her, she had to stay for some time. So that time was not up yet, I think, before our wedding. So we had to, God, there was so much we were trying to do.
It was a lot. So, but we were trying to see if there was a way she could come. And I think like up until the month before our wedding, we were not sure that she was going to come.
In fact, up until like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we kept on praying. I think it was like 2 weeks to our wedding that she was now able to assure us that, oh, she'll be able to come. And that was just answered prayer.
The amazing thing is that I know your parents would have not loved it. The wedding would have not held. Honestly, my mom did not come. But we knew. Another thing that happened was when I proposed to her and I said we're getting married next year, but I'm not sure. She said yes. We decided to pray about when we should get married. Yeah. And we got a particular date. So when all of this was happening, just like, you know what? Just postpone your wedding.
People were saying that, let's sort this out first. Postpone your wedding indefinitely. We said we have heard, like we have prayed, and we know that this is when God will have us get married.
Yes, this is when God has. So when all this was happening, people were like, are you sure you heard God well? Yeah. You know, sometimes like, I heard God myself. She heard God herself. Exactly. When I came together and I said, let's say the date God told us, 1, 2, go. And it was the exact same. It was like, this is not a mistake. Yeah.
So it's important. See, in this whole choosing wedding plan, you have to do it with God.
You can't just do
people that do it without God. I don't know how you're going to survive. As a believer,
there are plenty
go hands in hand. I'm telling you, go hand in hand. Hands in hands. Go hand in hand with God. You will have many challenges.
Well, it might be hands in hand because it's me and your hand in God's hand. So hands in hand. Shall you get it?
Come on. It's giving the Holy Ghost was speaking to me, but I was trying to repent. I repent.
So anyway. Yeah, it was important. And I remember clearly that after we got the date, we're like, oh, this is amazing. And I said, what if it's not a Saturday? You say, please, let's check if it's a Saturday. And it was a Saturday. So.
It was a Saturday. So we were sure about when we wanted to get married, because we prayed about it. So even when people were asking us to move our wedding dates, we didn't budge because we were sure.
Very
so
sure.
Now, the week of our wedding came, my husband's mom was in town, answered prayer, we're like, oh, everything's going to run smoothly. Now, on that, when my husband's mom came, it was time to buy the things. Traditional wedding was on Friday.
So what happened on Wednesday. So what happened was, from the list, my wife and I saw what we could afford at that point. So we bought the big ticket things. Yes. Most of the big. So box. They said, how many tubers of yam?
Yam, I've forgotten.
So we went to one village like this.
We
found yam that we could buy, and we bought it, and then we brought it. So I think box. Yam and some other big ticket things anyway. So my mom said she would take care of the rest. It's no problem. I said, thank you so much, mommy. I appreciate it, because at that point I don't get money. I was planning
expenses
wedding,
a lot.
expenses, choke.
Honeymoon, house.
I'm telling you, furnishing the house. Anyway. So Wednesday now, that's when we set to go and buy the things, right? That will be many things on the list. That morning came. We were about to head down. My mom just said, you know what? I don't think we should buy all these things. You guys are just starting your life. Is it not better this money be given to you so that you can start your life? Or, like, I don't think they should be putting this amount of pressure for you to buy things for a man, a young man who's just starting a home. Now, this was very, very thoughtful and amazing of my mom. The problem is we had agreed. We had agreed, and there was a tradition to follow through. Where this could have come in was during the introduction. Okay, this is too much. Let's reduce the cost. They're just starting their family, all those things. Beautiful. But not a day two, because this was Wednesday, a day two. The wedding. So this was what was going on. And I'm called. Mom said all this and said, mommy, no, let's not. I said, okay, let me just see if it's something that can even be possible. Maybe there's something that I will not buy anymore. I called my wife. I said,
so he called me and he told me that, oh, his mom is saying that, like, instead of buying all the things on the list, they should just give us the money. And I was like, my parents are not going to like that. Because there's a tradition that the things on the list are not just for the parents, like they are shared to some family members and all those type of things. So, and those family members were already present, they had traveled for the wedding. And there's also a thing where I think my dad's elder sister is supposed to check to make sure everything is complete and all that. So I was like, I don't think this is going to go down well with my dad and family members, because when this would have been resolved was traditional wedding.
Not traditional.
It was introduction rather. When this would have been resolved was introduction. But now, it's just a few days to the wedding, and this is coming up. So I said, I don't think my parents will be pleased with this. And when I mentioned it to my parents, they were equally upset that this list has to be followed. And so my parents were insisting that the list should be followed to a T. If not, the wedding will not hold. His own mom was insisting that this is not a good use of this money. We should not be spending this amount of money on this list. What are they going to use the list for? The things are not for them. So, and because both our parents, in their rights, they were not wrong.
Yes.
We both had felt the temptation to support each other's families.
Yes, so I was just like, why are your parents? There's a possibility that I would have said, why are your parents being unreasonable?
Yeah.
I mean, these things, we are starting a family. If these things were for us to take back home, that makes more sense. But why are we doing that? And for you?
And for me, I also felt tempted to say that your family already agreed to this list. So I don't understand, how can you come today to the wedding to come and say, you come and start bringing changes of opinion? What do you expect me to tell my family? My family is not wrong. So there was that thing of, oh, my family is not wrong, your family is wrong, your family. So that thing was about to make us side our families and pit us against each other.
And ensure that even if the wedding went on, it would have gone on in sour spirits.
Yes, sour spirits between us and our families.
Yes, to ensure that, let's just go ahead. And imagine starting your home based on that. Imagine going to honeymoon based on the fact that I feel like your family cheated me, or based on the fact that I feel like your family lied about, that would not be nice. What we did actually was because we had been prepared for this.
Yeah, so
we realized
what we did saved our marriage.
What we did actually saved our wedding and our marriage and our honeymoon and everything. What we realized was, listen, whatever is happening is an attempt to throw us off and bring isolation and bring contention discord between us. Because
to add, this was the devil literally trying to come in between our weddings to maybe prevent it from happening. Prophecies that had gone ahead of us, we had received convictions, we were sure. Now at the dying minute, something is coming up to scatter everything. It was really giving the devil.
I'm telling you, it's giving the devil. And when I realized that, actually, because my mom was, I was with my mom and she was talking to me. Ope was with her parents and they were talking to her. So it was going to be very easy for us to call each other up and say, why your parents? So what I did was I just excused myself.
Yeah, because our parents were putting pressure on us.
Yes, I excused myself from there and I called Ope and said, Ope, we need to pray. We know God is leading us to get married together. We know that this thing is trying to come in between us.
Yeah.
So let's pray. After we prayed, we came up with a plan. I'm going to talk to my mom and convince her to buy what she can, to buy some things. Maybe not all, but I'm going to convince her to try and buy all. If she doesn't buy all, no problem. But buy some things, great. While Ope, on her own side, was going to do, what were you going to do?
So I was going to convince my parents that, see, I told them this is just the devil. You already know that Joshua is my husband. God already revealed it to you and you have your convictions. If you want to know more about my parents' convictions, we check our How You Met video. You know about our convictions and my parents' convictions. Anyway, so I said to them, you already have your conviction and you know that this is my husband. Don't allow the devil to use this thing to scatter our marriage and wedding. So even if they don't bring everything on the list, just cover it up. Don't make it into a big deal. I'm your daughter. No family member can scatter the wedding if you put your foot down. So when I said that, my parents saw the wisdom in it, and that just made everything to die down. Why? Because instead of us turning against each other and supporting our families, we were a team. See, the moment you choose to get married, you commit to each other. Both of you are already on the journey to oneness. I know that you really become one when you get married. But from the moment you are planning your wedding, you have to be a team. You have to work as one.
It's so important because unbeknownst to your families, it's quite difficult to let someone who you've cared about, brought up and see grow up, go. So you will always feel, your family will always feel like, oh, you're still part of us. Even if you're getting married, you're still part of us. But then when it comes to marriage, you have to realize that the scale of priority has changed. You have to look out for yourselves, for two of you, because now your family, you and your spouse, you and your wife, you and your husband, you and your fiancé, you're forming a family. So everybody else is quote unquote extended family. So you have to understand that and then realize that we have to come together, because what usually happens during wedding plannings and all those things is that sometimes what one family might feel cheated or might feel like this is what I want and it's not happening, and you might be the voice of that if you're not careful. And when you're the voice of that, what you are innately saying is that, listen, I know we're getting married, but my family matters more than you. That's innately what you're saying.
Yeah. So you have to ensure that you are not standing with your family instead of your spouse. Apply wisdom.
Apply wisdom.
You are a team. Also, when it comes to my family, I'm the one that speaks to them. I'm the one that handles them. When it comes to my husband's family, he's the one that speaks to them and handles them because he's their son, he's their child, I'm their daughter. They will not throw me away. I will not be allowing my husband to be fighting battles with my family, and then me, I'll be fighting battles with family. That's not wise.
That's not wise.
Address your family and make sure you do it as a team. Make sure you're always a team. Your families must know that they cannot come to Joshua and say one thing, I'll come to your parents and say another thing, and they will not tell each other. When they know we tell each other everything, you can't come in between us. It's very important that you always present a united front. And don't take decisions apart from each other.
And honestly, your families are not doing this with any vendetta or anything behind them. It's just quite difficult to let someone go. Especially because you've been part of the family for donkey years. And now they're just meant to understand and start. It's not going to work.
Easy. They just have to understand that this new person has come and is now the most important person in your life. You know, and then the rest of us are now extended family overnight. It's a lot to deal with.
It's a lot to deal with. So, but you have to protect each other. Regardless of that, you have to protect each other and recognize that. So this is how we're able to save our marriage, save our wedding, and save our honeymoon.
If not, we will not be here today. No YouTube video, no channel, nothing.
Imagine
no ministry.
Imagine getting married.
The devil was really after our life.
I can remember the angst trying to come up. Wow, parents. And I remember you saying that also your parents were just like, they don't value you like that. My family does not value you.
Yes, because if they valued me, why is buying everything on this list an issue? Hey,
and like we said, in their own rights, they were right. My mom was right in her own right. Her parents were right in their own right.
They might have had they had valid points. They all had valid points.
Valid points. But what was most important
don't allow valid points to scatter everything.
Actually, what was most important was the fact that we were coming together and we had convictions about each other and we stood by each other. This is what helped the entire thing go forward, regardless of the issues that happened, regardless of the issues that came up. So I'm glad we did that.
I'm glad. Thank God you made the right decision. And this part of the things we actually teach couples who attend our premarital counseling class. We really teach you how to handle your family during the wedding planning process, because it can be very difficult. It can be very tough. So, I mean, if you can afford it, sign up for our premarital counseling class. You won't regret it. And also, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, share,
and comment. We enjoy reading your comments and replying them, responding to them. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.